Death would be his escape from madness. But it had not always been this way.
A lot can happen in 3 weeks.
Sign it. Save me.
The god didn't answer the call. Bloody typical. For you Christians watching, I'm not knocking God. I'm knocking the gods. For you pagans watching, don't comment saying that's offensive. It's not. Peter needs to advocate the fair treatment of hydras. Or would that be Greenpeace?
Thank you! Thank the gods you came back for me!
I didn't come back for you.
No!
Why do game companies insist on making their protagonists assholes? Wouldn't it be a lot more fun to play as a character with noble qualities?
His only solace was the sea.
The narrator should have said, whilst he wasn't fighting murderous hydras, his only solace was the sea.
Athens is on the verge of destruction. It is the will of Ares my great city fall. Zeus has forbidden the gods from waging war on each other. That is why it must be you, Kratos.
By attacking Athena's city, Ares is waging war on Athena, thereby directly disobeying Zeus's command.
Only a mortal trained by a god has a chance at defeating Ares.
One does not simply kill a god.
Come back to bed, Kratos.
The writer's thought process. Hell, the goal's gonna get this game an M rating / Peggy 18 for those in the UK. Why not throw in a completely gratuitous sex scene?
But you must earn such a gift.
Kratos definitely just looked into Medusa's eyes and should be a statue.
Bring me her head, Kratos, and I will give you the ability to wield its power. Freeze and destroy them all with Medusa's gaze, and the power of the Gorgon will be yours.
After fulfilling Aphrodite's original terms by killing Medusa, the goddess decides that Kratos now needs to kill 3 Minotaurs before he can have her gift.
Do not fear.
Kratos reaches for his sword when faced with a shirtless woman.
I am the Oracle of Athens.
Oracle is a Star Wars hologram. Kratos sure doesn't waste any time.
But if you are to succeed in your quest, you will need my aid.
Do the gods not understand that they're waging war against one another by helping Kratos defeat Ares?
You have done well, Kratos. Go with the gods.
Go with the gods. All of us except Ares, but he's a dick.
Who are you?
So, you have the skin as pale as the moon. You are the one indeed.
He's Michael Jackson?
Don't disturb me now, son.
Programmers suddenly decide we need subtitles. Rectangular rope. You gotta love PS2.
We must not stop.
These Spartans were not an equestrian people.
Kronos is the last. Zeus has commanded him to wander the desert endlessly, the temple of Pandora chained to his back.
The writers have absolutely no knowledge of Greek myths or the epics. If they do, it doesn't seem like it, because they're making stupid, unnecessary changes left and right.
The desert sirens have been destroyed.
Desert sirens? Rubbish! Sirens belong to the sea. What'll they have next? A desert sea serpent? Kratos is like Moses, except different because Moses parted a sea, not a desert, and Moses worked for God, not the gods. Plus, Moses wasn't a dick.
On his back, Pandora's temple awaited, massive and patient.
How can a temple be patient? That's just bad writing.
For 3 days, Kratos climbed the sheer walls of the mountain. He knew he would either recover Pandora's box or perish inside the cursed temple, never to return to the world of man.
Placing Pandora's temple on Kronos' back is completely pointless. It would have been just as effective to build it on top of a large mountain.
May the gods grant you strength to conquer the perils that lay before you. Good luck, Spartan.
How'd this arsehole know that Kratos is a Spartan?
The gods demand more of you. You have learned to use the blades of chaos well, but they alone will not carry you to the end of your task. I offer you the very blade I used to slay a titan. Take this gift and use it to complete your quest. Take this weapon.
It's a lightsaber! Writers encourage desecration of the dead.
To Kratos, victory was worth any price, even his soul.
Ares! Destroy my enemies, and my life is yours.
Instead of immediately killing Kratos, the barbarian leader looks up to witness Ares' power. If the log was indeed burning, the flames would have cauterized the wound in the Minotaur's chest, thereby dramatically reducing the flow of blood. Writers again encourage desecration of the dead.
Lord Hades.
Your progress is impressive, Kratos.
Hades speaks like someone with an electro-larynx and looks like a Martian from a B-movie in the 1980s.
Ares would save Kratos. He would turn him into the perfect warrior, his servant on Earth.
In Greek mythology, the gods were not necessarily giants. For the third time, writers encourage desecration of the dead.
As the minions of Ares claimed Pandora's box, Kratos' life faded, and his cursed soul was cast into the fires of Hades.
Unlike the Judeo-Christian hell, Hades is not a place of fire.
Let go, fool! You won't drag me down to that cursed river!
There is a task left for me above.
Stabbing a spirit.
You again?
Let's do a little timelining here. This character was killed back when Kratos dumped him into the Hydra's throat. Quite a bit of time has passed between then and now. Kratos sailed to Athens, had a three-way, talked to this old guy, rescued the Oracle of Athens, traversed the Desert of Lost Souls, took 3 days to climb up to Pandora's temple, broke into Pandora's temple, desecrated 3 corpses, and got stabbed by Ares' missile-like column. This means that 1. It took several days for the old man to die in the Hydra's stomach, or 2. He's been hanging onto this rock for several days. Since either theory is problematic, I think it's perfectly acceptable to pin it down to a lazy attempt at comic relief. LOL, the main character is a total effing a-hole.
Complete your task, Kratos, and the gods will forgive your sins.
The ancient Greeks had no concept of sin, let alone the forgiveness of sin.
Zeus! Do you see now what your son can do? You cast your favor on Athena.
Ares is trying to prove to Zeus that he's worth something by destroying Zeus's favorite child's city, and acting in direct disobedience to Zeus's command mentioned by Athena earlier in the game, that the gods should not wage war on one another. I'm no analyst, I'm not a peddler of psychobabble, but I'm pretty sure that this scheme to win a father's favor is a bad one.
Even Pandora's box is mine. Would you have me use it against Olympus itself?
Favor me or I'll hurt you with my new toy, Dad.
After thousands of years, Pandora's box was finally open. The power of the gods unleashed.
Let's set the record straight about Pandora's box. It's not the power of the gods. It's not a growing race for mortals who want to defeat a god. And it certainly isn't a cage for Time Lords. It's a large jar/box which contains all the evils of the world. In Greek mythology, Pandora opened it, directly contradicting the gods, and released all the evils of the world. She tried to close it again, but they all escaped. At the end of the day, Pandora's box is just an empty jar/box. Writers of future games. If you're writing a game that deals directly with an already existing mythology, developed and perfected over the course of thousands of years, read a book or 2 about that mythology. You might find that it's just fine the way it is.
Daddy!
It would have been far more interesting if the player was forced to fight the self that had killed his family. not this army of doppelgangers.
Should have joined me, Kratos!
Instead of pulling out the fire sword from the get-go, Ares grew spider legs out of his back.
Athena, rid me of the memories that haunt me still.
You have done well, Kratos. Though we mourn the death of our brother, the gods are indebted to you. We promised your sins would be forgiven, and so they are. But we never promised to take away your nightmares.
And the moral of the story is, don't trust the gods, because in the end, they'll screw you every time.
Marion, don't look at it. Shut your eyes, Marion. Don't look at it, no matter what happens.
The minions of Ares claimed Pandora's box.
Papoy? Akala na Papoy? No. Papoy.